Hey people, listen, happy Sunday. I know y'all probably sick of me, okay? This is about the third time I'm going live today, but earlier I did my shows with Royer. We recapped the final episode of the Braxtons, and we are recapping together on the Tia Maury show. So tune in for that for the weekends with Royer and I from Royer's World. But you know, I'm here with a quick trending topics. We're gonna try to do an express train, people. Express train, okay? Express train. But we got stuff to talk about. You know, as I was perusing through the streets, just looking at the news, I saw, I've been seeing this for like a day now, that the people are piping hot, pissy mad at Obama. Well, not the people, some of the men. Some of the men. The men are pissed at Obama because Obama told them, and I'm going to summarize it, get your life together, stop playing games, and go vote for Kamala Harris when it comes time. That didn't go over well with a lot of people. It didn't. I didn't see his message as being so harsh, but many people did. And maybe I didn't see it that way because it wasn't really directed at me. But I think it was kind of like a general statement saying everybody should just get up and go vote. But I guess it was a mixture of they felt like he was coming at the black man. And in addition to that, they felt like he was telling them who to vote for. So the people are hot. They mad. And they like, how dare you? Oh, good goodness. I don't know what's going to happen with this election, but it's going to be interesting. Yes, it is. It's going to be interesting. And listen, this what I'm about to say is just food for thought. Food for thought. It is not the conversation tonight, especially because I'm doing this express train, but this is food for thought. Here you have ex-President Trump running to be president again. He was convicted. It's no longer allegations, accusations, or whatever. He was convicted. And everybody's just doing, like it's two just regular candidates running. He was convicted. I'm just wondering, if Diddy ran for president, would y'all be so kind and lenient? I'm just checking. Because y'all don't want that man to even get bail. And I'm not talking about guilt or innocence yet, because at the end of the day, his guilt or innocence hasn't been determined yet because he hasn't had his day in court. But you got a man walking free, was already convicted, has a whole airplane too, and he's running for president. I'm just checking and asking questions. If Diddy was free right now, even though he got a trial coming up in 2025, would y'all be okay if he was running for president? I'm just asking. That's a question. It's not the conversation tonight. So let's go on and let's continue and see who else is on the docket tonight. So Obama is getting a lot of backlash. The people got their foot on his neck. They pissed at Obama. So we're going to talk about it. Then we're going to talk about Kimora Lee Simmons' daughter. Kimora's daughter, she seems to go through a lot. She's a model, and she said she's going to quit modeling. Why? Because people are consistently comparing her to her mother, telling her she's not pretty enough, she's not doing a job like her mother did. They're coming at her neck. And by the way, the title tonight is Right or Wrong. Now, what I think anybody needs to understand, if they are a celebrity kid, unfortunately, you are going to get compared to your parents. Michael Jordan's your parent, and you don't know how to play basketball, the people going to clown you. Listen, people clown people when they're not even celebrities. They be like, girl, your sister could jump rope. You can't jump rope. Now, I understand that, Kimora Lee Simmons, her daughter can't take it. Her skin is not that thick, so to speak. But there's some things in life you got to just toughen up. Because no matter what you do, you're going to get some type of comparison. The people are always going to associate you to your famous parent. Yes, they are. And there's this saying, it's not what the people call you, it's what you answer to. If somebody hired me for a modeling gig and my mother is Kimora Lee Simmons and they want to keep comparing me to my mama, whatever. If I walk down that runway and I got my check, I won, no matter what comes out of your mouth. Kimora may need to give her daughter a pep talk because her daughter talking about, I'm going to go back into government. Girl, no matter what you do, they're going to compare you to your mama. They are. Because your mother is Kimora Lee Simmons and your dad is Russell Simmons. Now, unless you want to change your name and hope that people don't recognize you, remember you, or whatever the case may be, this is something you're going to have to deal with for the rest of your life. Your mom is Kimora. She was a model. And they're going to do a comparison. That's just what the people do. I mean, listen, all you celebrity kids, y'all need to get together and talk and figure out how to survive this celebrity world. I want to say when the Obama girls went into the White House, I want to say the Bush girls talked to them. To let them know, keep your head up, because this ain't going to be no easy road. Your parents have the most important job in the world. And everything you do, the people are going to scrutinize it. If you flunk out of school, they're going to talk about you. If you're the top student, they're going to talk about you. If you get into a great college, they're going to talk about you. You got to toughen up. But she says she's going to quit modeling. If modeling is what I really want to do, nobody would make me quit. I would tough it out. But we're going to talk about it. Then we're going to talk about this police officer from New York. She worked at the Staten Island Police Department. Says she worked her way up to become a detective. And she faced a lot of racial discrimination and retaliation to the point where she got so sick she had to go to the hospital. Now she's out on leave and now she is suing. To anybody out there that is going through a work situation, my prayers are with you. The work situations are real. They say a lot of times people don't leave the job because they don't like the job. They leave the job because of people. According to her lawsuit, she went through a lot. They were really coming for her to the point where she got so sick she couldn't take anymore. She says she's a single parent with 2 boys. It's always very sad when someone is in a job that they love. They work so hard to get to a certain position, and then they get pushed out of their job by individuals who feel they don't deserve to be there. We're going to talk about it. It's a lot of tough and sensitive conversations. So I want to put a couple of disclaimers out there ahead of time. Disclaimer number 1, buckle your seatbelt. Disclaimer number 2, everybody has the right to their opinion over here. And I haven't said it in a long time, but I recently had to restart saying this. Stand your ground. Stand your ground. Because I'm going to stand mine. And at the end of the day, when I hit end, when I say we're done, the show is over, I don't have no ill feelings in my heart. Because everybody has the right to their opinion. Be kind in the chat. Y'all even have the right to your opinion. Watch your words. And me personally, I will never, and I am never going to tell anybody who to vote for. I just say, go out there and vote. you should vote. But I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. But you got to understand that Obama and all of these people out there that are campaigning and giving their money directly to a certain candidate, they got to go out there and say, vote for my candidate. So I'm not in Obama's position. I'm an individual citizen minding my business. And when it comes time to vote, I'm going to go cast my vote. And when it's time to vote, I hope you go cast yours. But I'm not going to tell you who to cast your vote for. It ain't none of my business. Do what you want. And I'm going to do what I want. But we have to understand whatever we do is going to impact the lives of all of us. So just research what you do and make the best decision that you can make. If you're ready, I'm ready. Y'all know what I need in the chat, right? I need a what? I need a choo-choo. All aboard, everybody. It is Trending Topic Sunday, and we got stuff to talk about. The title is called Wrong or Right. Obama's getting a lot of backlash. He's backing Kamala Harris, and the people are pissy hot mad because he told the black men to pretty much get up off the couch, stop playing games, and back Kamala Harris. We're going to see how y'all feel about it. We got Anika. What good child? Don't make me mess up Kimora Lee Simmons' daughter's name. Well, anyway, Aoki. I think I got it. She is saying she's going to quit modeling because she's tired of people telling her, okay, that she ain't as good as her mama, Kimora Lee Simmons. And then we're going to talk about this officer who, unfortunately, the things she's claiming that she suffered is very sad. So let me bring the people on in the building so we can have this conversation. Hold on one second. Hey, Katrina.
Hey, Diva. Hey,
Hey,
Julius.
Hey, Wayne. Hey, Felicia. Hey, E.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, people. Hey, so listen, we're in the building. We're going to start with this. You know what? Let's go ahead. I guess I'll knock it out the box. Should I knock this out the box? We're going to talk about the Obama situation. So he's getting a lot of backlash for simply just, I guess, speaking his truth and what he felt. And the people was like, no. We don't like that. What are you talking about? How dare you come at our neck like that? So let me go ahead and share screen and first give you some insight as to what it was he said. So hold on. And it's a snippet.
Go ahead and just speak some truths, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Because my understanding, based on reports I'm getting from campaigns and communities, is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly.
Hold on now. He's speaking to the brothers. Keep your head up, brothers. Obama's speaking to you. Hold on. Go ahead now, Obama.
And say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences, who's had to work harder and do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land and is putting forward concrete proposals to directly address the things that are vital in our neighborhoods and our communities, from housing to making sure that our mothers, our fathers, and our grandparents can afford medicine, and making sure that we are dealing with prices that are too high, and rents that are too high, and are committed to making sure that we maintain the Affordable Care Act. So everybody's got health care and cares about things like education and entrepreneurship in our neighborhoods. And that's on one side. And on the other side, you have someone who has consistently shown disregard, not just for the communities, but for you as a person. And you're thinking about sitting out? I'm not. But, you know, because of Pookie might be. And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that. Because part of it makes me think, I'm speaking to men directly, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that. And I think anybody you are talking to in a barbershop, anybody you are talking to in your house, in your family, at church, who is coming with that kind of attitude, I think you have to ask them, well, how can that be? Because the women in our lives have been getting our backs this entire time. They've been raising us and working and having our backs. And when we get in trouble and the system's not working for us, they're the ones who are out there marching and protesting. And so now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think that's a sign of strength, because that's what being a man is, putting women down. That's not acceptable. That's not, this shouldn't even be a question.
Cool. So that's what have the people hot. Hold on one second. I'm going to just share screen and show you one more thing before we go around and discuss this.
Putting his fellow black men on blast actually do the trick? Let's bring in former Democratic Ohio State Senator Nina Turner, former communications director for Trump's 2016 campaign, Brian Lanza, and Trump supporter, singer, and entrepreneur Ray J joins us tonight. All right, Nina, I want to start with you. You actually wrote an entire op-ed, very upset with Obama for this. Explain why.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. And it was in Newsweek, just really outdone by what President Obama said about black men, to put them on blast like that for no reason. Black men have been the most supportive voting bloc, male voting bloc, of women running for president. When Secretary Clinton ran for president in 2016, she got over 80% of the black man vote. For white men, it was about 32%. So which block of male voters deserve to be lectured to? Now, I want to back that up, Brian. I don't believe any voter should be lectured to. Voters have a right to choose who they want to vote for. But since President Obama wanted to go there, don't do black men like that when they have been the most supportive. And guess what? Vice President Harris is going to enjoy the lion's share of black men voting. But what you don't do is come at black men in a condescending way, vilifying them and acting as though they don't have agency in this election. They do have agency, and they should be respected for their agency as men. He not their daddy. and he came at black men the wrong way, and I don't like it. And I served I served for President Obama, being a delegate for him in the great state of Ohio in 2008 and 2012. Ain't got nothing but love for the man. But loving this man and pointing out how wrong he is two different things. He talks down to black men, and it's unwarranted. Black men don't deserve it.
All right, you got an applause from Ray J, so I'm going to go to him next. You're obviously a Trump supporter, Ray J, but what upset you so much about this?
Well, I really don't say who I support. I mean, I got a lot of love for Trump, but I feel like that was just refreshing to hear, you know, somebody have, you know, the man's back in a lot of things, because, you know, I think a lot of times we kind of get overlooked, but that was powerful. That made me feel good. You know, no matter who people are voting for, is your choice. It's, you know, whatever perception or whatever perspective that, you know, you go by, that's going to be good for your family. I just feel like instead of thinking about voting for the president, I think we lack right now in knowing who to vote for on the local level, right? Because you go in and you vote and you don't know that there's this ballot if you're voting for the first time, and everything from the local level is confusing. And I think a lot of people might start guessing on who to vote for on the local level if they're not educated, and then, you know, you're waiting to vote for the president. So I think that's really important to me, is that when you're going out to vote, that somebody's kind of educating you on what's going on the local side, more so than anything in my opinion.
Do you get backlash, Ray J? Do you get backlash from others in your community for supporting Trump, for liking Trump?
My mom does. my mom gives me hell, but again, I love my mom, and again, I respect Vice President Harris, and I think women are everything in the world, and I think we can't do anything without the skill, the brains, the love from a woman. So I have that instilled in my soul. Again, it's just when you're talking about voting and nobody really votes at a young age, when they got the ballot, like what am I doing? Do I vote for whoever told me they feel is good from the local side, or do I just start guessing? I think that's very dangerous, in my opinion, on sending people out to vote, not warning them on what they have to do on the local level.
Hey, thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find.
So there we have the basis of the conversation. Katrina, your thoughts?
Like you said, Diva, vote for whoever you want to vote for. But both of that woman and Ray J sound like clowns. The reason why I say this is because I see a lot of black channels on YouTube and a lot of black people around saying that they're not going to vote for Kamala. And basically, because she is a woman and she's a black woman. And that's a sad situation. That is so sad. I don't see nothing that Obama said that was wrong. Actually, whatever he said was right, because there was a lot of black men out there voting for him. So why aren't there a lot of black men out there voting for Kamala? And like I said, I'm not telling anybody who to vote for, who to go for, or anything like that. But basically, I didn't see anything wrong that he said. He's telling the truth. You know, you got this man that left all those people down in Coachella stranded after he got on his plane and boarded and left. They were still down there stranded, hungry, couldn't walk no more, couldn't get water, couldn't use the bathroom. But that's okay. And this is what y'all want. I mean, you vote for whoever you want to vote for. But this man left these people down there stranded. He didn't even pay for the bus gas. I mean, for the gas for the bus. He left them stranded, so he didn't care, because as long as he got where he was going. You have to look at those options. And I'm not saying Kamala ain't got no things in her closet either. But I'm just saying, I'm just seeing the obvious. Like you said, this man is a convicted felon. Like you said, Eva. So why couldn't Puff be the president, run for president? He might as well. Him and Trump got the same allegations going on, except for the DN. But who to say he ain't did that either? Like I said, it's a mess, and the black men are mad, and I don't see why. I don't see why. Whatever he said the truth, and I can't go against that. And I don't see nothing wrong that he said. But that's all I got, Diva.
Thank you. Julius, your thoughts?
What Barack Obama said was no lies, and I want to add on to this. When I was in church this morning, we had a new interim pastor, and her sermon title was "Be careful what you wish for." Now, everybody wanted Barack to come out and speak, campaign, give his insight, share his thoughts and opinions. Well, he done up and done that. And I want to emphasize what Barack did was he said the quiet part out loud that we have in everyday conversation. We talk about encouraging our black man. Now, because he is campaigning for Kamala, it's an issue. And I'm going to say because, yes, she's a woman, especially a black woman. And I'm going to tune into E's energy tonight because she's us, like, you know what I'm saying? It's a problem, but, like, if he was campaigning for Trump, it wouldn't be an issue. And I want to take Ray J to task for one quick second. You say you love your mom, right? But yet, how come you not honoring your wife nor your mother?
Oh my God.
But yet, if we gonna talk, let's talk. And this is black man straight real talking right now, because I am part black, even though I may not be all the way shade wise, but I am black and Native American. Let's keep it real. What Barack Obama said, he said the quiet part out loud. What's already being said in public. So this doesn't surprise me. And it's because Barack Obama said it. This is the same thing like the tan gray suit situation. Oh, he's doing this. Let's cause a hoopla. So, and I'm going to close with this. To the general public, y'all wanted Barack to speak. Well, he's spoken. Now remember this. Careful what you wish for. That's it. That's all.
Thank you. E, you're up.
Well, I have a lot to say, and I'm so thankful that Katrina and Julia set the stage accordingly. I think that they were talking too real and too right. Let me start here. There have been political analysts who have come out and stated that the Trump administration, in the 4 years they were in office, set our country back nearly 100 years from women's rights, climate change, environmental policies, LGBT rights. It's been studies that have stated, had Hillary won in 2016 and appointed those justices, I think it was 3 that Trump appointed, our country will look totally different than it does right now. But we cannot get to the next fight and jump to the next hurdle because they keep us stuck on the same issues we've already fought and thought we won already. Barack is talking too real and too right, and it's high time somebody black and somebody male spoke up and told these black men to get the hell over it. Get out of those crazy feelings. Get over your ego thinking you're too much of a man to vote for a woman to lead this country. In the beginning, because I heard that, I'll get to that woman in a minute. In the beginning, when the Democrats first put Kamala's name on the ticket, I'm with Katrina. The main point of contention was by the black men in the community. Kamala locked up too many black men. They said she's too tough on crime. And I remember I came up here when the conversation was had, and I told y'all, if Kamala locked up all the black men, then how come there's still so many crazy knucklehead black men still on the street? I told y'all she missed a bunch. That's what I said. Now, they say now, tell me if I'm lying, because after that, the Trump campaign 2 weeks ago began running ads on Kamala being too soft on crime and saying how Kamala let a black man out of jail who later went on to unalive some folks. And then one would ask, how can the same black men who said Kamala was too tough on crime and locked up so many black men can still turn around and say, I'm voting for Trump, when he is saying a complete contradictory message, saying she is not hard enough on crime and that he wants to crack down even further and bring back stop and frisk and give police full immunity. The reason the Trump campaign can play double dutch with the facts concerning black men is because the MAGA campaign has done their research on how to lure the black man to vote for a twice impeached convicted felon and predator of women. The Trump campaign has said Trump loves the poorly educated. He said that out of his own mouth. And the stats show black men are the least educated batch of men in this country, aside from the Mexicans. Now, that's just what the statistics show. The Trump campaign knows by launching attacks against women, against our rights, our right over autonomy, over our own bodies, LGBT rights, promoting this agenda of keeping black men in the household, because that's what that Project 2025 was all about, keeping the men in the household in the name of family, even to the detriment of the household, as much as women have fought for the power to divorce, to get assistance in child support and separate ourselves from men when they prove to be dangerous. Those black men who advocate for Trump say, nope, by tearing all those other groups down, will put us back in the winning seat and give us back the power we thought we lost. That's what they think. And then shame on me for even watching you replay this foolishness. I love you, Diva. With that male-identified black woman on the screen, sounding backwards as two left shoes, ranting and raving. Had she not been on the panel, I would have thought she was a single black woman in the ghetto with 8 sons. What did she say? She said, Obama is not their daddy. What does that say? Obama not their daddy. He talked down to black men. They don't deserve that. He came at them the wrong way. It was a pick me shit if I ever saw one. Girl, I was just thinking, girl, shut your goddamn mouth. Let the black men speak up for themselves, since they have so many opinions and they don't need anybody to speak for them. Why don't they speak up for themselves? Because I'm with Katrina. Everything I've been seeing online, everything I've been reading in the comments says completely otherwise. And when that woman said, and even Ray J, I don't want to say who people should vote for, and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, that tells me all I need to know. In most cases, when you put some of these average, I'm not talking about our well-to-do male politicians, I'm talking about our average round-the-way boys, when they open up their mouth and begin talking about politics, is often spoken from a place of bias, lack of education, and sound like fools. And so they need somebody to speak up for them, because I'm tired of getting stuck on this same spinning wheel of having to fight the same things we've already fought for, because we keep giving the votes away and letting people run off with the narrative that we cannot manage ourselves. They need to listen. They need to vote blue in November. This is not Diva's opinion. This is what E said. Vote blue in November, and I want Kamala to be the next president of the United States. We need this as a country.
Thank you, E. Felicia, your thoughts?
What's the question again?
Just how you feel about what Obama said, pretty much.
I wasn't offended. Good evening, everybody. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
We know the truth hurts. Yeah. Truth makes people uncomfortable. I appreciate folks being direct, and when you're calling somebody out, you call them out. If the black men who identify as black men, if some of them are offended, I would love to hear why. I would love to hear from them as to why. Mm-hmm. But I'm gathering the internal polling. They're probably seeing a lot of what we saw last time. And, I hate to go here right now, but, Diva, you got me thinking. So as of today, Ray J ain't got a lawsuit against him. So Kanye got, Mr. Combs got, the mayor got, all these other people got lawsuits, so they can't come up and talk. So they took wherever Ray J was, and they said, okay, you don't have no lawsuits, and you probably got something coming up. This is going to be beneficial for you. So can you come forward? The last time I think you had Ray J on, he was manipulating and coercing his kids into saying that nothing really happened. We was filming a TV show, a reality show, me and mommy, or something like that. And please, please, y'all don't call the police. So he's partnered up with the convicted felon. So good for him. So, they get along well. The former president is known to be a lot of things, but what we know for sure, he is a convicted felon. And so Ray J and he, I think, is a great partnership. For me, I have no problem. I would love to hear from the men, and I gather Wayne can give me a better perspective on what all this uproar is about. Thank you.
Thank you, Felicia. Wayne, your thoughts?
First of all, who is Ray J that I should be mindful of, and I could even consider a thought that he has coming out of his brain? Okay, and I'm not offended by what President Obama said. Okay, my thing is, if you was going to vote for Kamala Harris as a black man, you're going to still vote for her. If you wasn't, what he said is probably not going to change your mind. So why would you be upset? Okay, I look at President Obama as like somewhat like a father figure, giving some good advice. Okay, why wouldn't you? The things that this man has done and what we will have to endure if he becomes president. Sometimes you have to do things that you normally wouldn't. Normally, if it wasn't a regular race, and we didn't have this racist person in there running. See, it's no problem when he tells his people, vote for me. Women, vote for me. The uneducated, vote for me. Okay? They don't have a problem with that. So if they was going to vote for him anyway, well, this conversation that President Obama told them, it's not going to matter to them because they already have their mind made up. Mm-hmm. So I don't see where, because he said that, all of a sudden, you don't tell me what to do. Okay, we won't. Don't do it. Do what you want to do. But when your tail is out there getting beat upside the head, don't be asking Al Sharpton to come and, the NAACP and all these other organizations to come to your rescue when they're holding their foot on your neck and taking your life.
Come on.
What you gonna say? What you gonna say about that? Are you gonna be saying, why didn't President Obama come out and say something, about the black man being taken advantage of? You okay? So I have no problem with it. He did what was necessary that needed to be done. If you don't want to hear it and you don't want to accept it, so be it. Somebody will. Mm-hmm. But you have to, it's the times are dire and you have to do extreme things. And if that was too extreme to some black men, so be it. Go on the other side and accept it. When you get all that you asked for, don't come complaining back to the black community to save your black ass.
Oh my God.
Come on. They don't like this kind of teaching.
So I don't have a problem with it. I hope he goes and does it again.
Whew.
If you're offended, oh well. I'm done.
Oh, thank you, Wayne. Emmanuel, your thoughts?
Okay, well, I have the opposite opinion of everyone. So let me just say this. I would need Mr. Obama to go back to do his Netflix multi-million-dollar deals. I get it. He has to campaign. They got him campaigning. They even got Bill Clinton down in the South. They're paying content creators. They have all these celebrity endorsements. But I think it's a slap in the face to tell any group of people, white, black, Hispanic, Asian, men, women, young or old, who they should vote for. It's very degrading. It's like taking autonomy from people, because people fought and died for the right to vote. The right to vote for who they want to vote, not who some popular person tells them who to vote for. I saw a lot of reactions on social media this weekend and on Twitter, and people are mad. Like Nina Turner, I think she said it on Twitter. She said that she was speaking particularly about black men and how a lot of them have felt emasculated by the Democratic Party. That's what she said on Twitter. I've also spoken to people that I know, and they've told me that they disagree with Obama because they don't feel like Kamala grew up like them, like Obama claims. She grew up in Canada. They don't have an issue with a woman winning. They have an issue with this particular woman. It came across as he was scolding them, and that's not a good strategy. I don't know what he was thinking doing this. And to go back to Nina Turner, she said, don't blame them, blame the bad candidate. Nina Turner, by the way, is very educated, and she was a state senator, so I just want to say that. I think that if you have a party that is struggling with getting support from men in general, all different ethnicities, white, black, and Hispanic, they're as a whole, they're not getting the male vote. Maybe it's time to reassess why you can't get the male vote. Maybe you should have been thinking about that instead of bragging about Taylor Swift's endorsement. When Obama said, I think you all have a problem with voting for her because she's a woman, has he given any thought that maybe people don't want their ex to be $10, maybe they want him to be $2, or maybe they have a legitimate issue with, I don't know, her time as a prosecutor where she jailed black men for smoking Mary Jane, and then she laughed about doing that at the Breakfast Club. Or maybe when she had a man on death row and she wouldn't release the evidence to free him until the courts forced her to do so. They have run a campaign focused on pro-choice, and that's not everyone's main priority, especially a man's priority. As our country diversifies, we got to keep in mind that diversity also includes diversity of thought. Times are changing, so people got to get ready. And besides, if we're going to be totally honest, if we're going to keep it real, they should be talking to the white women and men, because in 2016, 82% of black men voted for Hillary, 63% of Hispanic men voted for Hillary, but only 31% of white men voted for her. So be mad at them. Democrats need to understand that it's not enough to tell people don't vote for Trump because he's bad. That's not good enough. It's not good enough to blame someone else. You need to try and earn people's votes. Don't take them for granted and then be mad at them when they don't want to vote for you. So that's all I had to say about that.
Thank you. Carrie, you out?
Good evening, everyone. I've always taken exception to when we, as a people, sit on other people's platform, I'll say clear people, and have these types of conversations. That really, I take exception to that. Now, to what Emmanuel said, he wasn't scolding them. He was speaking directly to the issues that we as women still face today. So anybody that still works in corporate America, which I do, or you have worked in corporate America, you know what the struggles are. I just had this same conversation with my father, and I love my father dearly. It is a lot of men that still believe women belong in a certain place. My father happens to be one of them. Like, we had a heated discussion about that. We weren't talking about the presidency, but we were talking about pastoring. So these types of issues still exist. He was speaking directly to the issue. He spoke very succinctly. He spoke because he had the data to prove that this is what men's issues, their issue is that she's a woman. I don't think it's anything else. I deal with it every day. We have to work twice as hard. Even when we get the job, we don't get the same pay. And that's even if we can get the job. And I feel the same way as Felicia. I would like to hear what our men have to say about it. Not what the woman had to say, but what the men have to say about it. What is their offense? How did he offend them?
Thank you. Savannah, your thoughts?
This is a lot for a Sunday, Diva. I was having a nice, quiet Sunday, and this conversation starts up. So thank you.
Oh God.
My second glass of wine. There was absolutely nothing wrong with what former President Obama, Barack Obama, stated in regards to African American men and their unwillingness to vote. And I don't think it's about vote, it's actually about educating themselves and researching. We have one or two choices. We have a candidate who has 34 indictment charges on him, a federal elections interference case coming up, a Georgia election interference case, a classified documents case, and he's been convicted on the hush money case. A man who has vowed to do a mass deportation coming on, and that was going to be his first item on his agenda. Everything I need to know, I get it from Project 2025 because that is their blueprint of what is to come if we don't vote and vote wisely. I have Trump supporters in my family, and we have conversations constantly about what he says on a weekly basis that is bigoted, racist, sexist, just downright dumb. Just downright dumb. Knowing that the Project 2025 proposes that the DOJ is going to gut enforcement of civil rights laws, how they're going to enforce civil rights laws only in the courts, eliminating tools that address straight up and blatant discrimination, not only on your race, but on your sex as well. It's also going to eliminate the use of disparate impact in the civil rights enforcement and movement. There is so much that they're going to be doing that is going to hinder our rights, not only as minorities, but as women, as voters, as taxpayers. And this thing here is bigger in this election. I'm so glad there's only 3 weeks left, because I am just done with the fighting amongst cultures and families. And this is what they want. This is exactly what, because they know they need to regroup. And once this election is done, if it doesn't go their way, there's going to be a lot of restructuring and building within that party, because the Republican Party isn't what I grew up with. This is a whole totally different breed of animal. How they're going to be eliminating diversity, equity, and inclusion, and all the nastiness that has been going on and misinformation. So I want Obama to speak out again. And men don't like it when they're called to the carpet and told to man up and do what they're supposed to be doing for not only for their country, but for their fellow neighbor. And that's all I got, Diva. I got to go get another glass of wine.
Okay, I appreciate you. We're going to go ahead and move on. It's a tough conversation to have, and it's a tough conversation to have. I appreciate everybody's thought process on the conversation. E, did you want to say something before I moved on?
Yes, please. Thank you so much. I have to stand my ground. No, it's not tough conversation to have. It's a wonderful and much needed conversation to have. Everybody, make sure you early vote. Vote blue.
And I just want to say, as the mod here, we are a family, but conversations like this as a family is good to have. And it's still love all around.
Yes, it is. And I appreciate you, both of you, everyone. Okay, I'm going to move on. And I'm going to go into this Aoki Lee story. This is Kimora Lee and Russell Simmons' daughter. And she struggles a lot. I think it was, I don't know if it was earlier this summer or if it was last summer, where we saw infighting between her, the dad, the mom. It was just horrific. It was horrible. And now she's coming out and saying, look, I'm not going to model anymore. I'm about to quit. And I'm quitting because, people keep asking me or saying, your mom is prettier than you. Your mom was a better model than you. And she says she is done. Let's hear her words, and I'll read the article, and then we'll talk about it.
It's hard to go somewhere and get told over and over and over, no, you're not pretty enough. You're not pretty enough. No. I think I'm probably wrapping up modeling soon. I'm I'm like getting a job in my degree field. But, while I'm still here, I should do my best. I just feel like, does that make sense at all? I hope I don't sound whiny. It just feels like one big fat, comparison all the time. Like, okay, you're not as good. I get that. Like, my mom is always going to be a way better model than me, but it's just annoying to have that comparison sometimes. I think I'm going to end up switching back to working in government with my degrees in. But while I'm here, I'm going to do my best. It's hard to go somewhere and get told over and over and over, no, you're not pretty enough. You're not pretty enough. No, you're not pretty enough. No. So, that's not a fun time. I don't need a coach. I'm a good model. I know that sounds like conceited. It's not. I worked really hard at it, but it's a hard industry. There's a lot of beautiful, great girls who are great models who don't have a job. My mom always taught me that if you're going to leave something, just in general, I'm taking the foreign service test so I can get back into international relations, which is what my degree is in. You should finish out strong and finish out with respect to the job and the industry that you chose to be involved in. So I'm going to go finish strong.
Oh, this is one. She got a lot going on. So Aoki Lee Simmons, they tell me I'm not pretty. Not my mom. I'm quitting modeling. Being a Nepo baby ain't all that, according to Aoki Lee Simmons, who actually is bowing out of modeling, specifically because she says everyone in the industry wants her to be her mother, Kimora Lee Simmons. The 22-year-old explained her disappointment in a video where she revealed she's constantly told she's not pretty enough to make it in modeling. And if that wasn't deflating enough, she's constantly measured against Kimora. They look like darn near twins there. I don't see really the difference, but I do know people are just mean. Aoki says, my mom is always going to be a way better model than me. It's just annoying to have that comparison sometimes. She says modeling is just a very hard industry, and while she's planning to finish strong like Kimora always told her to do, Aoki already is looking past modeling, hoping to land a job in government. If she thinks modeling is hard, listen, I prayers for her. Spare her the dumb model jokes. Aoki has a political science degree from Harvard and plans to take the foreign service test in order to work in international relations. As far as how she'll wrap up her modeling career, she isn't saying. Except to reveal it won't be in this year's Victoria's Secret show. Aoki says she auditioned for the VS gig, but didn't get it. Kimora and Russell Simmons' daughter made headlines earlier this year when she briefly dated 65-year-old restaurateur Victoria Asaf. Kimora was not a fan of the relationship, which ended shortly thereafter. On to the next, a good way to sum up Aoki's 2024. Whew, she's going through a lot. Katrina, your thoughts?
Tell your therapist. We don't need to know. I mean, if you're not gonna model no more, you're not gonna model no more. You say you're going to government, go into government. I mean, it's not like you saying people are knocking down your door to get you to model. So just tell it to a therapist, girl, and go into government, do what you want to do. Maybe they're not booking you because of your last name is Simmons and what he used to do to models. I don't know. Yeah, go eat a sandwich and tell your therapist. That's all I got to eat.
Thank you, Katrina. Julius, your thoughts?
You're going to hear many no's before you hear a yes.
Come on, talk to the girl, Julius.
You know, when I first got my cosmetology license, I thought I had many jobs lined up, but it turned out not to be the case. Did it take a toll on my self-esteem? Mm-hmm. But guess what? I turned it around and used it as character. Even though I may not practice hair now, I know I could fall back on it. And see, it seems like she needs to start doing the reverse and use it as fuel. Because Tyra Banks said that the modeling industry was a gauntlet and all of that. And so you're not going to have it easy. You're going to have to walk over many barriers to get to success. And the thing about it is, you know, she's still young. There's still time to learn that. However, I gotta be stern here and I gotta be consistent. I just have a feeling that she expected to just jump into the modeling industry because she is Kimora's daughter.
Mm.
And no, Miss Honey, no ma'am. You got to work for what you want. You got to work. If that means going to photography classes, to whatever it is to pose, runway lessons, whatever the case may be, you got to put the work in. It's just not going to be handed to you. So I'm going to close with this. Because the real world, no matter what industry you're in, it's a doggy dog world. And you got to work, you got to scrap, you got to fight to sustain and earn your keep.
Thank you, Julius. E, you're up.
Well, she says her mom is one of the most beautiful models. I beg to differ. I never thought Kimora was pretty. I think that Ming Lee, that older sister, she just came out naturally stunning. She inherited the best of what each of her parents had to contribute to her genes, and beauty is her strength. And actually, Ming, the older sister, she is a successful model. And she is gorgeous. And like you said, Diva, Aoki looks like Kimora. They look a lot alike. And the problem here is not the modeling. The problem is Aoki does not know who she is. She is a young, privileged woman dealing with rejection after growing up and being told that the world was hers. And the problem is Aoki does not want to work. She's been telling us on Instagram for years. The girl says she wanted a sugar daddy. She wants the life she saw her mother have, a man to pay all her bills. And that's why when Aoki got with that 60-year-old earlier this year and she was on the beach and, oh, I love him and this, that, and the third, she thought she hit the jackpot. But see, they don't make old fools like her daddy in 2024. She's going to have a hard time if she's trying to follow that blueprint that Kimora laid down. Nowadays, the men, no matter what color they are, a lot of them are stingy and they're cheap and they're getting into the hang of this social media. See, social media ruined the whole game because men don't have to approach women out and about anymore. They don't have to put in all the work because social media made it possible for women who were not charging fees. It granted women, those same women who weren't charging, that same access to men who were typically paying. So that old white man, that old fat looking and disgusted white man Aoki was kissing on the beach, he found the next young thing. And so Aoki, I really feel like instead of going to Harvard, and I saw this somewhere online, somebody said they should have put that girl in the HBCU and rounded her off to giving her some type of strength in her own identity so that she would not be following behind in her mother's footsteps. You chose political science for your major as a reason. You say you want to go and focus on foreign, what did you say? International law, whatever the hell you said. Do that. That is worth more than a baby fat campaign because nowadays I don't know anybody who wants to rush out and buy any new baby fat. I see they're trying to relaunch, but this is rich people's problems. Like Katrina said, go make a sandwich and get on BetterHelp and do a virtual session. We got real problems out here. Vote blue.
Thank you, E. Felicia, your thoughts?
I find this very interesting because one of the things that I can remember back from the 90s was that a lot of melanated women, females coming into the modeling industry, they were chosen because they had a little off look. They were a little different. So where someone would say that maybe Kimora wasn't as attractive, she was the look. She was that girl. And so how she looked was the look, let's say, of the time of the 90s. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And she had a very successful career. And as we all know, as he just mentioned, she went on and started to do her own fashion line. And that was very successful. So when her daughter is kind of saying, well, they say, I'm not as good as my mother. She's this, and that. I'm sensing she's angry with her mother.
Mm.
I mean, that's where I was getting this unhappiness from. It's from mom. And then she was very I don't like using that word all the time. I can't think of another one. Disrespectful when she says, well, I guess I'll go to government. Like, oh, you think you could just walk in the door and the people are just waiting for you?
That part.
I mean, did someone tell you that that's how it's done? And if I'm not mistaken, just not mistaken, she went to Harvard. And it's not uncommon for many folks who go to Harvard to go there for the social connections.
Mm.
So there you were, Aoki, in the heart of billionaire, millionaire social connection outside of NYU. And you didn't connect with anybody there to help you to facilitate, move forward, a career move, an investment, an idea, a concept.
Mm.
So I think it's a lot of anger from her mom, whatever that relationship is about. I agree with Katrina. She needs to go get some counseling. I agree. She does look incredibly thin.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she's just not understanding that what she's going through, most young people go through when you're trying to find your purpose, your passion as to what you're going to do. And clearly it is not modeling for her because she doesn't have what it takes to go the distance. If you listen or read anything from any of these models, irregardless of race, of ethnicity, of citizenship, it's hard work. You're going to hear so many more no's than you do yeses. And if she thinks going into government is going to be her answer, she's going to get a thank you, but no thank you, and they're going to keep it moving. So she needs to figure out how to go about finding what is her passion, what she really likes to do, and go do that.
And she's going to have to stay the course.
And stay the course and stop throwing her parents out here like they're the reason why she's not being successful. I do think that he does make a good point that she thought that the two of them should have been enough for her. No sweat, no work, no equity, no sacrifice. I just walk in and you all think that I'm that I'm that person. And she's not. She's got to get out there and define who she is.
She got to put in the work.
And just put in that work. That's what they call sweat equity,
Yeah, sweat equity, because she also mentioned, I didn't get the Victoria's Secret fashion show. She's in her feelings right now. And when she gets that letter from the government saying next, you're not the one, she really going to be heartbroken, because people think just because you're in the entertainment industry, you say, oh, the entertainment industry is hard. I don't really know an industry that's not working, not hard.
Right. And
I haven't bumped into one yet.
I honestly, I don't even think when she was at Harvard, she put work in there.
Oh my goodness.
She came out without any social contacts.
Mm.
She came out with no base of from where to build from here. And that's really primary reason why people go to Harvard. So that they can get those social connections. So when they want to go up to the next level. So she's not connecting on the ground. She's going to have to go back and restudy or look at something else and quietly do it and get out from in front of all of this social media, because she's wearing all of us out. And unfortunately, I still remember her on that beach with that 60-something-year-old man. And to think that you may have given a part of your personal person and you still didn't get a damn deal. Woo!
Well, may the church say amen. Hallelujah.
I'm sickened with her. How do you erase that? How do you get that out of your memory bank?
Well, let me just say this too. She needs to put in the work. She has 800,000 plus followers, right? She's a model. To me personally, and I think she's beautiful.
She
right?
is.
She's beautiful. To me personally, she should have more pictures of her modeling on this site than anything. The problem is not that she doesn't have it. The problem is she don't have no confidence in herself and she don't even believe. The girl got it. She's gorgeous. It's in her. But to me, this Instagram should be nothing but your shots of you modeling, because that's what it is you want to do. That's what this whole thing should be. It'll be about you slaying this thing down so that every picture they see of you on this Instagram is you putting out your work. If you want it, you got to let the people know you want it. And like Julia said, just because you get a no, okay, you got to keep it pushing. You got the modeling chops, she do. But the thing is, she don't even believe it. This girl is gorgeous. She's giving us everything in this picture. She's gorgeous. But somebody, and you know what? I'm having a feeling she don't know it because nobody even told her that. She doubts herself. She lacks self-confidence. And honey, she is going to get the biggest disappointment of her life when she get the letter from the government saying, not today.
Diva.
Yes.
She has come out and spoken about her battling with body image. And she said that she knows that her older sister, the one that I was telling you about, you showed a picture of her, is more beautiful than, she said this out of her own mouth, that her older sister is more.
She said this, but I don't like that. And I don't even like when relatives and people want to compare siblings to each other. Oh, your sister is prettier than you. To me, it's not about that. This girl is gorgeous. She's giving us face there. This girl is absolutely beautiful. There's nothing wrong with her. And how about this? I've seen people who other people don't even think are that pretty, and they slaying down and tearing down the modeling scene. It's really more about your confidence. She got the height. She has the face. She's giving us a good picture there. It's about her lack of self-esteem. And I'm feeling like, and I'm not trying to parent shame, I'm feeling like, and we know because we saw the whole argument between her and her daddy, Russell Simmons. It's more about what's going on with her internally than the fact that can she or can she not make it in modeling. I think if there was more confidence, I think if it was more love, Felicia always talk about loving, protecting the kids. I don't think she was really loved and protected when she was growing up in that household. And I think that's more of her problem than anything. I don't think it's about the fact that she can't get a job. She can't get a job because her confidence is not there. And for her to even say, my mother will always be a better model than me. How do you know that? The thing I always tell my kid is, I want you to do better than me, have more than me, be more successful than me, and not go through all the things that I went through in the workplace. I don't want that for you. So for her to come out of her mouth, if that was my daughter, I'd be like, I don't care what none of them people are telling you. You can be better than me, and I want you to, and I'm going to help with what we need to get you to walking coach. What do we need? It's a self-esteem issue. That's what I'm catching in my mind. Wayne, your thoughts?
I think, in my opinion, this child is a spoiled brat. And I think she may be a little overconfident because she said, she getting these no's, and I know I'm a good model. I know. So she knows, so she can't even take suggestive criticism. Okay? She probably been told no 10 times. And they said they compare me to my mother, blah, 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 blah. She don't need to be a model. And the reason I say that, you've already defeated yourself. You've already told you, well, I'm not as good as my mother. Okay, so already, that's just one nail in her coffin. Okay, I'm sure that when you go into these jobs and they know who she is, I can't imagine the professional people who know modeling wouldn't say, maybe you need to do this. Give us some suggestive criticism to work on. So when she goes to that next audition, she'll be a little bit better. When something is your passion, a no is nothing. A no just means I get another opportunity. But she doesn't want it. She wants the fast track. She wants the money. She wants the man with the money, the older man. That the only thing can do for her is give her some money. That's what she wants. That's the easy road. This girl's probably coming up, ain't been told no. That's why she can't accept it. Because she already feels that I'm a good model. I know. She thought she was going to go in them places and ride on the backs of her parents. And news alert, you're going to get some more no's. Whether you go in the government, you might want to go to McDonald's and find out no. Okay, you're too popular. No. So you're going to get some no's all the way down the line. But she can't take that. That's not what she wants. If modeling was her passion, she would still be going after it. But I think she thought it was going to be an easy road, and I can do this. And when she get whatever, she sounds like the type until she matures more, whatever it is, whatever she does, it's always going to be something. Oh, they said this, they said that, so I'm a runner. She's a runner. She's a track star. She keeps this up, she's going to be running the rest of her life. Every time she get a no, she's going to run to something else. So I think this child is spoiled. She wanted the easy route. She hasn't locked into her passion. And she don't believe in herself. Because everybody else is better than her. And when you feel that way, you've already been defeated. I'm done.
Savannah.
Diva, you were hoping for an express train tonight. This child, I think, has been wanting her mother's attention or her parents' attention for quite some time. I think that she doesn't have anyone in her life that will really guide her, support her in whatever she wants to do. Whether it's don't come to the government. The government, you're a blue suit, gray suit, you're invisible. You're not going, don't come on this side. You're not going to make a name for yourself. This young lady graduated from Harvard with a Bachelor of Arts degree in the classics, meaning she studied Greek and Roman history. So maybe she can work for the embassy. That's basically what she can do. But Kimora is no Yolanda Hadid, who has raised two of the most strongest, beautiful, both those girls, models in the last century. And Yolanda has been involved in their careers from early on. We can even look at someone like Richard, Venus and Serena's dad, who before he became what he is today, Richard dedicated his life to make sure that his girls would be somebody. And Kimora, I think what this young lady learned from Kimora is exactly what we saw this summer on the beach with almost a 70-year-old. And her parents both replying to that relationship as, oh, well, it was, the attraction was organic. And they excused it as it was normal. So I just think this young lady has led a privileged life and has not had anyone to support her and mold her into being a young, productive adult.
Thank you, Savannah. Tony, you're up.
Hello, Diva. Aoki Simmons. Now, I don't really care for her mother. I think I've already mentioned, so I'm not even going to comment on her mother. But for a 16-year-old to make it into the third-ranked highest university in the country is an accomplishment.
Mm-hmm.
16, she made it into Harvard.
Mm-hmm.
She graduated with 2 degrees, double major. Now, I can relate to the double major. Maybe not at her level. I didn't make it into Harvard, but I earned a double major myself. Then went on to a master's program. And I'm going to be working towards my doctorate. That'll be my final degree. But Harvard is not a school that you apply to I don't know, to make social media connections. It is a school that you make it into because you've proven you are in the country within the top 5 to 10% of the graduating class from your high school to qualify to be in the elite of the elite. Now, after she got out of Harvard, yes, she may have made a detour to, she tried to get into modeling, and she saw how hard it is. Even with a famous mother who was a model, it doesn't mean that the road for her would be easier. She's just now discovering that. And she may have made a wrong turn, but let's not forget, she's a grown woman. If she wants to date a 70-year-old, she's free to date a 70-year-old. But at the same time, if I were to sit her down and say, have a plan A, because you've done your plan A, you've went to Harvard. That's going to open doors for her in any industry, maybe except for modeling, because she went to Harvard. None of us on this panel, including me, may never qualify to break into Harvard, but that young lady did, and I applaud her for it. But I would sit her down and say, let's do plan B. Let's even do a plan C. My godmother did that for me. So with that being said, I would try to steer her in a different direction. If she wants to go into government, aim for it, because she put her mind to getting into one of the toughest schools in America, and she did. So she can break into government. She could break into any field she wants. Modeling may not be the thing for her. I would make that very clear to her. But if she wants to pursue modeling, keep going at it. You can do modeling part-time and work in another field, because you don't work every day as a model. You don't have those jobs. You don't work 9 to 5 every day as a model. You get a job here, you get a job there. So in between breaks, you have to save your money. Tyra Banks used to teach that on her show, America's Next Top Model. But this young lady has potential. In fact, she has great potential. I would encourage her to, at the very least, go to law school or medical school. So you get that advanced degree that will set you up for the rest of your life. So she wouldn't have to lean towards rich men, all right, who come off like sugar daddies. But she's young, and we all did stupid things when we were her age. So with a little bit of guidance, a little bit of love, good direction, I think she'll make good decisions going forward.
Thank you, Tony. I'm coming to you, Dustin. Give me a minute.
Okay.
I think that she can be successful in anything she wants, including modeling. But I think there needs to be a backtrack of love, protection, and some confidence. I wouldn't talk her out of modeling if that's what she wants to do. Because no matter what she does, you're going to have to stand the good fight. I don't see nothing wrong with this girl. I don't see nothing wrong with her modeling pictures. I think she has it. I think she's the it factor. But I really think the problem is she don't know that. So if she doesn't know that, it don't matter if she gonna work for Target, Walmart, Starbucks, McDonald's, the government. If she go back to school to become a lawyer, a doctor, she ain't going to be able to diagnose nobody. She ain't going to be able to get nobody out of jail because she don't have the confidence. I don't think this is a matter of is she smart enough with her work ethic is she's so spoiled. And when people say spoiled, I want to say this. I don't know what kid these days that are not. You could be spoiled even if your parents are not worth millions or hundreds of thousands of dollars. When I go get my kid from the school, everybody there got the latest iPhone. When I walk by the high school and I'm passing by the buses that are waiting to pick up the kids to get on the bus to go to school in the morning, listen, the hair is nice, the nails is nice, they looking fly, they looking like they work 7 jobs and they going to school. They got the nice backpacks. Everybody's spoiled these days. So I mean to say, oh, she's a spoiled brat, what does that mean? Who's not? I don't know not one of these kids that ain't spoiled. The kids up in the grade school got the latest iPhone. In the earbuds that go with it. Hold on 1 minute, Dustin. In the earbuds that go with it, that is like $200-300. So my thing is for this young lady, my prayers go out to her too. Because it's a lot more dynamics that go into it. And to say, well, you know, this one, they raised 2 successful models. There's a different dynamic that goes into this. And I'm not going to go there tonight because it's Sunday, but it's a whole different dynamic. I think she has it. I think the girl's the it factor. I think it's a matter of what was instilled in her or not instilled in her, and she needs a bit more confidence. Felicia, go ahead, and then I got to get to Dustin.
Thank you, Diva. So I'd like to first say to everyone, the folks on the panel, I have spoken to them on this live. I have spoken to them backstage, and I have spoken to them on the phone, but I have never had the opportunity to meet the people that I have spent so much time with. And for the folks in the chat, some people may kind of know me. I don't know, but I don't believe I know anybody in the chat. So I'm putting that disclaimer out here before I proceed with my statement. I have no ill will with anyone on this panel unless they want me to have it. And when it comes to who applied to what college and what schools, Tony M doesn't know what colleges all of us have applied to or not applied to. He doesn't know who applied to Harvard. He don't know who applied to Brown, Yale, MIT, Stanford, Northeastern, Northwestern, Chicago University. Tony, you don't know.
Don't get into your feelings, Felicia.
Hold a moment.
Don't get into your feelings.
When you make, I'm all in my feelings. Been in them. When you make statements like that, you're bringing judgment and you don't have facts. And I don't appreciate it.
Well, if I stand corrected, anybody on this panel ever made it into Harvard?
Okay, listen.
Second of all, I want to share a fact. What percentage of Harvard students are from rich, wealthy families?
That's not what we're talking about.
30% of Harvard students come from rich or wealthy families. Why do I bring that up? Because wealth is a way of entry as well. That's why.
Aoki Simmons had the academic grades to get into Harvard.
And I'm glad
Did you have
she
the
did.
academic grades to get into Harvard?
I'm glad
to
she
Stanford or to Yale? No, you have not.
No. We can't do this. I'm not.
He's going to stop coming for me because I don't come for him.
I didn't come for you.
Okay. Oh, okay. I need to stop this right now. I gotta stop this because y'all know me. I never have the pattern where somebody's not muted and it's giving me everybody to mute. I never like to have a panel where we come at each other. I don't like to do that. So that's not what I ever want to do and how I ever want to handle or have my show. So on that note, we did have, Dustin, I got to apologize to you because I know you did not get to speak on this story. And I did have one more story that I want to go through. I'm going to adjust my title. I'm going to shut it down right here, right now, because the last thing I ever want to do, that's not why I came to YouTube. I don't want to have the panelists like going back and forth at each other. So I, as the content creator and the host, if anybody was offended by any word that was said by anybody on this panel tonight, please lean the responsibility on me. I don't want anybody to be offended. I'm sorry that happened. And so on that note, even to everybody in the chat, I'm going to shut down this live. We're going to cut it short. I'm not going to go into my last story. I will adjust my title. Maybe I can tag on this last story because it was a very good story to have a conversation about. I'll tag it on to another trending topics. And I always try to say here, if y'all notice when I talk, I never address any individuals and I don't try to come sideways. I just try to give information. And I encourage everybody, when you come on the panel, don't lean your thought process or your conversation towards any individual. Speak neutrally about how you feel about the subject. On that note, that's right, Special K, catch your train, don't catch feelings. Listen, I'm closing out. If you didn't hit the like button on the way in, please hit the like button on the way out. Good night and goodbye, everybody.
Good night, David.
Good night. Thank you for understanding, Dustin.
You're okay.